Good day everybody, this is Vic from V-Drive bringing it to you 2026 GMC Yukon Elevation, which is a loaded Elevation, just so you know, with the Duramax diesel engine. And after watching this video, you'll be fully convinced that this is a better buy than the Yukon Denali that's going to cost you about 10 grand more and with some extra features that you may not necessarily need. But let's just start talking about some obvious features that you see right here. It has a beautiful looking grille. You have the blacked out package with a blacked out grille in the middle. You have the GMC blacked out logo with the illumination package. That's why you have this GMC logo illuminating. Chrome all around here, which is pretty typical with the Elevation edition or a Denali edition. And you have the C-shaped LED lights with the 3 stacks that is very, very bright. And if you're driving this vehicle at the nighttime, you won't have any issues seeing anything on the road. You do have the fog lamps underneath, and you have your block heater right behind this stock right here, so you can plug in your vehicle in the minus temperatures as well. Now, behind this blacked out grille, you have your aero shutters that are currently closed because the temperature outside is about -5, so that's helping your engine to stay warm. And you have aero shutters underneath here too, because you have a towing package, max towing package, that's going to help you tow about 8,400 pounds. The really aggressive look, and in my opinion, if you are buying one of these vehicles and if you can black out this chrome portion there too, you can absolutely fall in love with the vehicle. Now, to the side right here, you can see your 20 inches aluminum brushed rims, and you have these all-season tires, which are Continentals, and the size of the tire is 275/60 R20. You have independent suspension front and back. Now, talking about the difference between this one and a Denali, along with the independent suspension, what does that mean? You have no solid axle at the front or at the back. In the Denali, you'll also have magnetic ride control shocks. Those shocks are going to provide better comfort, but if you're somebody who have never bought a Yukon before, can I tell you something? This would just be enough, because that's going to cost you about $108,000. The exact same vehicle in the Yukon Denali is going to cost you $120,000 in Canada. So come on, it's a no-brainer, right? Now, the length of the vehicle is 210 inches. If you need more space in the trunk, you can choose an XL version. That's going to be 225 inches. The curb weight of the vehicle is about 6,200 pounds. So yes, the vehicle is really heavy, and it's really nice too, right? Now, come to the back right here. You have the beautiful looking LED lights at the back here too, the tail lamps, GMC logo right in the middle. And you have a towing package, which I mentioned. It's going to help you tow about 8,400 pounds. Now, you have the Yukon badge right there, Elevation blacked out badge right there. That kind of looks stupid in my opinion. That should be blacked out too, which you can still do it later on too. And if you'll press the remote control button right here, you can open up all this space. You have cargo liner at the back in this specific one, as you can see. And you have 3 seats right here, 2 in the middle and 2 at the front. This is a 7-passenger, and if you'll press this button right here, you can drop your third row seating. You have 110 right here too, and if you'll press this button, it's going to also drop down your second row seating as well. Now, the third row seating you can pull up by pressing these buttons. You can do the same with the second row. Now, just something for the perspective, you can also buy one with the 8-passenger capacity, where your second row will also have 3 seats, so you can fit your big family in it there. Now, underneath this space right here, you have a little bit of a storage, you have block heater cord, all that kind of good stuff there. And at the back, you also have this backup camera, which is part of your 360, and you have a rear camera mirror as well, which you can wash on the go. And if you'll press this button or press the button right here, as you can see, you can also open up your window in case you just want to access your groceries without throwing anything out that can actually roll over, right? Now let's just talk a little bit about the powertrain here, what's its packing and what's the best thing that you need to know about this vehicle right now. With the Elevation package, you can get a 3-liter diesel, which is paired to 10-speed transmission. It's going to give you about 305 horsepower and 495 pound-feet of torque. That's the only engine that you can get in Elevation as well as in the Yukon Denali as well. Now, there's another engine which is specific to Elevation, which is 5.3 V8. Yukon Denali gets 6.2 V8, which is fully gas. If you want the best fuel economy in the world, this is the one that you need to get. 24 gallons, which is 91 liters tank, and that's going to give you 1,150 kilometers. Yes, you heard it right. If you don't believe me, I actually made a video on the previous year Yukon with the older diesel engine, which is not as fancy as this one, That recorded 1130 kilometers, and my personal experience on this one, which I didn't record, is 1150 kilometers, which is bonkers in my opinion. If that's a fuel economy you want, that's what you need to get. Now, let's just go inside so I can show it to you what the vehicle is packing, so we can talk about a few more features, because after all, you'll be spending more time inside the vehicle. If you have any questions for me, please drop a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe. We're trying to hit 10,000 subscribers in the next 30 days. Let's just go to the second row right here. Inside here, you have the leather seats here. You have the nice stitchings, which is wide out. You have the Bose stereo system and a lot of plastic down below. That's where you can throw your snacks or your drinks. You have the GMC logo welcoming you, and you have these nice leather seats with the white stitchings and piping. In case you want to move the seat forward or backward, you can just do this. Or if you want to recline it, you can also do this. And in case you want to move this seat out of the way, all you have to do is just pull this lever, or you can pull this latch. There are multiple different ways you can do that. You can move this thing out of the way, and you can go straight to the back seats. And of course, plenty of space at the back, as you can see. I'm 6'2", 230 pounds. My head is not really touching. I do have an air vent right on top of my face, and the light is right in the middle too. I can fit 3 people at the back here easily. I do have a cup holder here too, as well as a USB-C port too. Now, if I will put this set of seat down, I just want to show it to you how it looks like. Look at this. I still have tons of space right here. It's not like I'm crammed up, you know, so because it's a truck chassis, you can still fit 3 people at the back comfortably. In the previous year Yukon, which was I'm talking 2020 and before, you did not have that option, but this is the best thing right now you do. Now, let's just get to the second row real quick. Just want to mention you do have these touch screens at the back. You can see the vehicle status right here, the fuel range, the trip information, all that kind of stuff. You do get the headphones along with it too that are GMC branded, which I'll show it to you. And you can also connect your Apple earbuds or all that kind of stuff there too. These seats are heated. You have the buttons right there, and you have the separate climate control system with the 110. In case some of you wanted to play some Fortnite or, you know, any GTA games or your PlayStation or the Xbox at the back there too, you can connect it right from those HDMI and the USB-C port along with the 110, and you can play your games right on the go. So in case your kids are traveling with you and they want to be entertained, and you want them to be entertained with the games, you can also make that happen, because that's the comfort that you provide when you have a Yukon Elevation with you. Now let's get to the front of the vehicle here. So you'll have a similar idea here, leather, the plastics and all that kind of stuff, Bose stereo, GMC logo. You'll have power seats with the lumbar support, and these seats are going to be really comfy. When you go for a Denali, you'll have a little bit of a better stitchings on the seats, and you'll have a Denali written over here too, just to remind you what you're driving. You do have the trailer brake controller here for your max towing package, light controls here, and you have automatic 4x4 controls. You have the 360 camera buttons. You still have the auto parking assist in this one too, lane assist, park assist, all that kind of stuff there too. Now coming inside, this is what you see, pretty standard. If I'll put my hand right here, you won't really know if you're sitting in a Yukon Denali or you're sitting in an Elevation, because in the Denali you'll have the Denali badge here. Now you have the Super Cruise option, which will show it to you when we're driving. You do have a heads-up display there too, which is pretty sick. You have the rear camera mirror, which I showed it to you, and you have a full panoramic sunroof as well. And you have this center console space. That's where your GMC headphones are. And if you will press this button, it also has a secret storage where you can throw your gun or your money or your jewelry, whatever you have. And that's going to move your cup holders to the back, and you can still move this portion right here for your armrest, which is pretty sick. And you can move this back just by pressing the button. Now, I just want to take a second to appreciate the whole look of the vehicle. You have the leather wrap dash all around here. You have the space right here too. And you have this big real estate of a screen inside, which is huge. For example, if you'll turn on the camera, you can see every piece of definition. You can see your tires, you can see every debris all around the vehicle there too. And this touchscreen does have an Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as well. You do have inbuilt Google, as you can see right here. And just by using the voice command, you can control basically everything, just like you use your Apple Siri or your Google in your phone as well. You can log into the screen, you can use map, all that kind of stuff. Now, I want to point out one quick thing. If you think the screen is too distracting and you don't want to look at the maps on the screen, you can do one more thing. You can press this button right here. that's going to throw my maps right to your screen. So even though this screen will be off, you can see map right there. And if you're like, Vic, I absolutely hate the Google UI system, the user interface, that's not a problem at all. You can connect your Apple CarPlay, and through that, you'll press this button one more time, and that's going to show your Apple Maps right on the screen. And for the first time, I just want to mention, you do have the paddle shifters here too. You have the Super Cruise button, which we'll get into in a second. Your heated steering wheel is right here. And the way you shift your vehicle is actually behind your steering wheel. You pull this and you drop, that's your drive. And you pull this and you go up, that's your reverse. And you press this button for parking, right? So some of you might be thinking, some of the old school Mercedes, they have something like this, or some of the German cars have it, and that's where it actually came from. There is no surprises, just so you know. Now, along with the big screen, coming back to this, I just want to mention, yes, electronics and the screens and everything is fine. The voice command is fine. But imagine if you're stuck in a minus 40 temperature and all you need to do is use buttons. If you go to a Dodge product or a Ram product, you won't be able to do that. But in this case, you can actually press the actual buttons to control your climate control system. And of course, heated seats are still there, or cooling seats are still there. But all the defogging systems and all that interface is right here. And inside here, you have your wireless charging, USB, USB-C port, and you have your piano chrome all around here, carbon fiber in between, and everything just looks really fancy and put together. Let me know what your thoughts are regarding this, and what do you think about the design and overall feel of the vehicle. Let's go for a drive, and I'll talk about how the power feels in the 3-liter Duramax and how the Super Cruise handling is on the highway. All right, let's just show it to you how this vehicle handles on the road here. First of all, first thing first that I have to mention, the visibility. It's just insane on this vehicle. You don't have to worry about anything. You're top of the world, you can see everything, the vehicle is high enough, and you can see everything around your vehicle, and everything is accessible and in a visibility there, right? And along with that, when you add that rear camera mirror, you can see everything behind you, because when this camera is not working as a camera, working as a regular mirror, anybody who's sitting behind you, you can see through this. But if let's say there are like 7 other people sitting like me at the back, you won't be able to see through this. In that case, you just have to turn this one on, right? Don't forget the stop sign. All right, just see how this one is. Wow. Since we are getting into the power here, let's just talk about this. With the current suspension that you have in this independent suspension, with the premium smooth suspension, the current shocks, right, and the power combination, when you go on a highway, you will not feel any of the stress to your back. You can do longer trips, and especially when you add this engine to the play there, you will see a lot more kilometers. Now, some of you might be wondering, why do I see a 674 kilometer range? Don't go up based off that, because engine hasn't even broken into yet. The current kilometers on the vehicle is just about 195, and based on that, you will still get about 800-900 kilometers of range in a full tank. But as soon as your first or second oil changes are done, you can expect about 1100 plus kilometers on the highway. And obviously, if you're driving it in the city, that 91-liter tank is still going to give you somewhere around that 1000 kilometer of range, which is not too bad. Now, the power is amazing because you have 495 pound-feet of torque that's pushing your vehicle, and if you have a trailer at the back, that's still going to be a peanuts for this vehicle there, because 8,400 pounds, remember guys. Now, I won't be able to show you the Super Cruise and this specific one. I just found out that my vehicle, that the one I'm reviewing right now, does not have a subscription, which is kind of weird. There is some sort of technical difficulty from the dealership, but that's not a problem. I'm gonna show you one of the Super Cruise clip within the video, so you're able to see how the vehicle will handle over there. Now, the quietness of the cab. Outside right now, there is a huge amount of wind happening, And of course, when you're sitting inside, you'll still feel some, but especially the fact that you have the noise cancellation mics inside the vehicle, and you have acoustic wheel wells within your just on top of your tire there, if you know what I mean. That's going to dampen a lot of road noise. And with that being said, your cab will be way quieter. So if you have 2 kids or 3 kids or 5 kids at the back, they're trying to sleep, you won't have any issue. Just make sure you're not making too much of a noise while driving or singing or anything like that. With that being said, one thing you will notice with the diesel engine is the diesel engine does make a little bit of a noise every time you do accelerate. That's just the nature of having a diesel engine. It's not a problem. But it's just what it is. And if you're used to having a diesel vehicle, you will not really notice it, because usually the diesel engine into a truck is more noisy as compared to the diesel engine into a Yukon here. So now, some of you might be wondering, yeah, the Elevation is nice, the $108,000 price tag in Canada is fine, but of course there is no massaging seats. Guys, you won't be able to get massaging seats in a Yukon anyways at $120. You'll have to spend around $136,000 in Canada for 2026 model in order for you to get massaging seats. So getting a regular Denali, which is 118, 120 grand, is still not a wise decision in my opinion. So stick to a Yukon Elevation with the black package that has a blacked out grille, the diesel motor, Super Cruise. Make sure it works. Check to your dealership there, and make sure you have the DVDs at the back there, because that itself is like a massive deal in my opinion. Yes, some of you will argue that the prices are still high up and that they are keep on going up. Yes, that's the case, but you know what? Nobody can really control any of those. But yeah, since you're looking at this video, I know that you have the budget of a vehicle. Make sure you go ahead and buy one of these bad boys here. But with that, we are done. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to hear your thoughts regarding the vehicle. If you have any current Yukon or even the previous Yukon, would love to hear your thoughts. With that, we are done. You have a wonderful day, and don't forget to subscribe on the way out.